In part 1 yesterday, we showed you the staggering economic cost of relying solely on Lagos ports. The numbers were undeniable. But immediately, the comment section lit up with the same logical question. If the federal government won't fix the eastern ports, why don't the states do it themselves? Why can't rivers or Akwa Ibom or Cross River just dredge their own channels and build their own terminals? It is a fair question, but the answer is not about money, and it is not about the local politics. The answer is the law. If you open the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, you need to turn to the exclusive list, that is exclusive legislative list. This is the list of 68 items that only the National Assembly in Abuja can legislate on. No state has jurisdiction here. Look at item 40, maritime shipping and navigation. And crucially, item 41, ports and harbours. That is it. End of story. No state house of assembly, not in rivers, not in Cross River, not anywhere can pass a single valid law regarding a deep sea port. If they try, that state law is automatically void under the Constitution. But the Constitution is just the foundation. The real iron lock on the system is the Nigerian Ports Authority. Section 7 mandates that the NPA shall provide, maintain, and operate all major ports. Section 8 specifies that the NPA owns the land, the water area, the quays, the channels of every major port. Port Harcourt Port, owned by the NPA. Calabar, owned by the NPA. The future Ibom Deep Seaport, the day it opens, it belongs to the NPA. Let's be practical about what this means. Even if Governor Siminala Ifubara of Rivers State had 1 trillion naira cash sitting on the bank tomorrow, he cannot legally dredge the Bonnet Channel deeper. He cannot build a new container terminal. He cannot concession it to any international operator like Maersk. Not without the Nigerian Ports Authority and the Federal Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy signing every single document. If a state governor tries to bypass Abuja on a port project, the Attorney General of the Federation will have a court injunction stopping them within 48 hours. We don't have to guess about this. We have real-life proof. Now look at Lagos State. They spent years in court trying to regulate their own inland waterways. In 2024, the Supreme Court finally struck it down. The federal government won. Next, look at the most advanced projects in the East. Ibom Deep Seaport in Akwa Ibom. It is a fantastic project, but it is a federal project executed via public-private partnership (PPP). The state government had to hand over the land title to the NPA. There is simply no legal pathway for a state government to own or independently operate a deep sea port in Nigeria today. There are 5 critical actions required to make a port functional. Every single one of them is 100% federal responsibility. Number 1 is dredging. Maintaining the channels and turning basins, that is NPA responsibility. Number 2 is security. Declaring port limits and securing the water, that is the job of the Nigerian Navy and NIMASA. 3. Concessions. You cannot bring in a private terminal operator without the NPA and the Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission in Abuja. 4 is pricing. Setting the port dues, pilotage, and towage fees. That's the NPA tariff structure. And then 5, international agreements. Signing the deals that allow massive global ships to call at a Nigerian port. That requires the Federal Executive Council. A state governor can build access routes, and many of them are really trying. But without those 5 federal actions, a multi-billion-dollar port is nothing more than a dock for fishing boats. This federal control works when there is political will. Look at Lagos. The Lekki Deep Seaport concession was signed in 2020. The first commercial ship berthed in April 2023. It was fully funded and built under this exact same legal framework. Now look east. Ibom Deep Seaport was approved back in 2016. They are to break ground in May 2025. The earliest operations will be 2027 or 2028. Same laws, same country, very different sense of urgency. Let me be clear, this is not just a Southeast issue. It is a national economic emergency. The power to fix this already exists in the Constitution and the NPA Act. No new laws are needed, only political will from Abuja. The federal government must fast-track the dredging of Port Harcourt and Calabar channels in the next budget. They must deliver Ibom Deep Seaport on schedule, and they must concession new terminals in the east before 2027. The law is clear. The numbers are clear. Nigeria cannot afford to continue running 65% of its international trade through one congested corridor, while the rest of the country watches. Economic balance is not charity. It is common sense. Thank you for watching this series. If you believe this needs to change, share this video. Tag the Minister of Marine and Blue Economy. Tag your representatives. Demand action. My name is Chinonso. See you in the next one.